Hi, welcome to Reform Tech channel. In this video, I'm going to tell you about what is an AWS IAM, and also I'll walk you through about it. Alright, so AWS IAM is nothing but it's Identity Access Management. So it is a web service for securely controlling the access to AWS services. And with this, you can manage users, you can manage your security credentials, your access keys, secret keys. We'll see everything in detail. Yeah, so identity access management ensures that the right people with the right job roles in your organization can access the tools they need to do their daily jobs. Okay, and before we start, it is strictly recommended that we do not use the root user for everyday task. Even AWS recommend this. So it is always recommended that you create a IAM user and you assign administrative roles to it, and then you can use that account, but do not use the root account. Right, so when I say root account, mainly root account, it means that when you create an account initially, that is a root account. So in that account, you have to go and you have to create an IAM user, and then maybe if you want, you can provide the admin access also to that user. And from the next time, or any installation or any services you're going to launch, it is a good practice to launch from the new account which you just created. Right, so let's quickly jump into the Iem dashboard. So here in the services, if I go to Iem and search, I get this. And if you go into Iem, you see a few options like user groups, user roles, policies, identity providers, and account settings. Right. So to create a user, first you have to go and click the users. So user is nothing but it's user represents the person or any service who uses this IAM user to interact with the AWS, right? So a primary use of this IAM is to give the ability to sign into the AWS Management Console for interacting or with the task, and also through the programmatic request also. Programmatic meaning through the CLI. Okay, we'll see what it is also. So here, when you click on add users, you see here you have an option called as add user. So you can click here, say add users, and it will ask the username. I will say it as Reform Tech. Right, so here you have two options. One is to create a key programmatic access, another one is the password. So programmatic access meaning that every time you log in through an command line. Okay, so you have a command line interface in your laptop, and you want to connect to the AWS console using the CLI, AWS CLI. Then you need an access key ID and a secret key access. Secret access key. Right, so you need both of these, and only then you'll be able to log in to the machine. All right. And password, it is directly the way you log in, the way I did. You can just log into the AWS console, which you have an user interface, right? So this option is called as an AWS Management Console access. All right, so let me check both of this. And when you check this password, it will ask you whether a system should generate a password or it is a custom password. So if you want to set a custom password, you can just set it up. If you want to give an auto-generated password, that's also fine. So for now, I'll leave it as auto-generated. And I say next permissions, and we'll talk about permissions later. And I'll just skip to tags and review. And I'll say create user. So this will create a user, and this will give me a CSV file. Okay, so make sure that you download the CSV file when this screen appears, because once you lose this, you do not see this secret access key. Okay, the secret access key is visible only initially, and afterwards it is not visible to you. You can get the access key ID but not the secret access key. So it is always recommended that you store the CSV file in your in your local, or you can share it to the user to which you have created. Okay, but do not skip without downloading it. Okay. Alright, so this is how you create an user in IAM. Now let me go and show you what is a user group and also what is an roles and policies. Okay, so coming to this user group is a collection of IAM users, I would say. So if you have a development team, so what I'll do, I'll create a group naming that it is a development group, and you can add, so if there are multiple users in your list, you can add who are the developers to this, and yeah, you can add, you can say just create group, and this will create a group. So you can add policies to this group directly instead of assigning a policy to individual users. Alright, so I'll come to policy now. So policy is something that defines the permission for an action regardless of the method that you use to perform the operations. Okay, so if you go to policies, you see multiple policies here. So if a new person joined in my team and I want to provide him only the read-only access for S3, meaning that he cannot edit anything or he cannot upload anything, but he can only read what are the contents in the S3. Alright, so if that I want to provide, then I would provide him an S3 read-only access. So if you just type in S3 in the filter, you will see a lot of options for S3, but our requirement is that we need the Amazon S3 read-only access, correct? So I can just check this. Alright, so if any other thing you want also, you can do this. Okay, so to attach this policy to a user, you have to go to users, but before that I wanted to show you about the policy also. So here you have this plus symbol, right? So here if you expand this, you will see the this JSON format. So you'll see the JSON for this particular read-only access, and if you want to create your own, you want to customize your own, that is also possible. If you want to customize anything in this, just copy the script and just say create policy, and you could just paste it there, and whatever, and just paste your script in the JSON, and if you just say next tags and create, it will get created. Alright, so that is how you can create your own policy, and now we'll see how should we attach a policy to the user. So for which we have to go to users, and I'm going to select this reform tech user, and I'll say I'll come to this permission. So I'll attach a permission, I'll say add permission, and here you can attach an existing policy directly. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll select this. So if you want, you can add an admin permission or whatever you want, but if you are an admin, that's all you have, right? So you have everything in the admin itself. So I'll just give only admin for now, and I'll say next review and then add permission. That's it. So if you log in through this user, then you will have an admin privilege provided that user. Alright, okay, so that is about the users. And next, if you go to the roles, you have the role options here, and if you go to roles, so roles is something that is specifically for an application. Say for example, you have an EC2 instance inside which an application is running, and that application needs to access an S3 bucket. Then what you have to do, you have to create a role and you have to attach that role to that application. Only then that application would be able to access your S3. Okay, so this is a role in simple terms. And you have this account settings tab, and in account settings you could say could generate a password. I mean, you could set up the password policy, like say for example you want a minimum of 3 of the following mix or whatever according to your requirement. You could set this up, and this would be across the account. So whatever accounts whatever user you create, this will be common for all the users that you created. Alright, so this is something about IAM. I hope you got a bit on what is an IAM. Yeah, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.